There Josh is, just this lying sack of shit, because he told me we were all ready. Oh, wait, we're live. I should have...
Drop after drop after drop after drop.
Hi.
Gathering Madness.
How's it going?
2021.
Yeah.
Day 2.
Day 2.
And
that's this many.
It is. It is. Unless we both do that, then it's more than this.
Yeah. Which this many for me
is math, kids.
Yeah.
So it's what?
It's math.
It's math.
Maths.
No. What is
maths? Oh, this is the Gathering Madness. We don't have audio.
You're delayed.
No, I was letting you know that I was playing something. So nobody would be able to see or hear you.
Oh.
Yeah, that's correct.
But you have ruined.
Sorry, I understand.
You have once again, Josh, ruined the illusion.
That one.
There's a delay, my friend.
There is a delay.
I know there's a delay.
Hey, Josh.
What?
There's a delay.
Oh,
Wait, is there a delay on the delay? I feel like we're delayed. But now we're back in. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
Because the bumper's not actually that long. But it's cool as fuck. Thank you very much, Lauren, from unraveling the pattern. You're proud as shit.
Like, for real. You're like one of the coolest people ever. I think that's safe
You
to
can
say.
tell by the way he uses his walk. He's a cool ass man.
I don't have any audio coming.
Well, I feel like that's it. Do we have the mics on?
Also, in chat, they're stating that there might be a delay.
I mean, they can hear us. So
Yeah,
it's using the same mics and picking up everything else.
Okay, cool. Good.
If you're trying to
I
listen,
don't know why I can't.
Because your
I know
volume
exactly why.
or your
Because
things
I have
aren't.
to Zoom still.
Ah, yes. Well, that would be a problem. I'm gonna move this mic so that it's better.
Hey, bro. There it is.
and we should probably move
This mic. That one of these mics.
That one is not hooked up to it.
That one's not hooked up. Okay.
Not to the same one.
This one is. No, that one's not hooked up at all.
Oh, there.
Technical difficulty.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
Not
to the
actually
Black Tower.
technical.
That's the sad part. It's not technical difficulties. It's just
Getting everything.
Yeah, we're just we're good. All right, so today on day 2 of the Gathering Madness 2021, here in Havelock, North Carolina, we are going to be coming back at you for the next hour. Is it an hour or more?
hour and a half.
Or an hour and a half. We're going to be talking to you for an hour and a half about fun, sexy times. Because the guy we're talking about today is sexy. And he's in the Wheel of Time, and therefore sexy times. See what I did there? He gets it. This guy gets it. This guy fucks. So, yeah, welcome back. If you haven't done so yet, pop on over to blacktowerpod.com, where you're going to find all of your Black Tower needs.
It's true.
All of them.
Every
single fucking Black Tower need is on blacktowerpod.com.
Will be
including today's schedule, which we are following to the letter. You goddamn know it.
absolute zero deviation.
No, we're actually doing pretty well for the
I mean, this is the first
we
event.
destroyed our assholes and also our livers last night. And
Yes.
so we're actually doing surprisingly well.
So join the Black Tower podcast as we take a journey through, self-abuse.
Yes, indeed.
For the views.
That is what the Gathering Madness is. It's just flagellation in the form of...
So please give us, some validation by hitting the like button and subscribing to our social media channels.
Indeed. But yeah, also as stated, go to blacktowerpod.com. It has our links to everything. It has the schedule for today and not next year. I don't know why I was about to say it at the schedule.
Definitely not next year. We're not that organized.
Andrew is one of the most organized people I've ever met. He is not that organized.
Correct. But it does have all your links to all of our social medias. It has links to both of our merch stores, including Spreadshirt and New Creations by Jen. It also has a link to our lovely, illustrious sponsor for the Black Tower, the lovely Adrian Crystal Barista.
All right.
You can click on the memo art chibi to get to there. Yeah, so go over there, become a patron. You get fun, extra cool stuff when you're a patron, including the fact that last night, for example, we did record an episode, and it was free for everyone on Discord. So you could have gotten a taste of what the patrons get every Tuesday. Every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we record an episode. And if you're a patron, you get to pop in the Discord and say, "Oh, hello, I'm listening to the episode live." And I can make comments in the live discussions channel of the Discord. And
This is very true.
makes these three laugh.
All
And
of
if you're really good at making us laugh, you can even earn awards.
That's right. We do have the Triple Broken Crown,
Yep.
which is currently only held by one person,
Correct.
the fact checker, Mahale,
Yep.
Morshadi, who made all three of us
Shit ourselves.
shit ourselves.
And
laughing.
also laugh very hard. The shitting ourselves was the figure was laughing.
Yeah. But that's the point. And you know what? I mean, you're here. You know who we are. We're the Black Tower Podcast. We like to talk about the Wheel of Time and all things Wheel of Time related. And, sometimes we like to gather our madness together in a singular location so that we can do this. So that's what we're doing. We're here. It's the Gathering Madness Part 3, 2021.
Great.
And do we have a spoiler warning to play?
Well, before we do that,
Or do we want to do something
just
else?
real quick, I know that you know who we are, but we are going to say it out
Oh,
loud.
I'm Josh.
Yeah.
The sort of on Mahale.
I'm Daniel, the Ammon Can Mihail.
Oh, I'm Andrew. Surprise on my hill.
And Andrew's already sick of our shit today.
Not you.
I'm sure we did.
I'm sick of others that I foresee coming. Anyway,
Fair enough.
and the other voices you hear are other people here for the Gathering Madness.
Correct.
So
Yes,
That's
because that's actually a good thing to mention. Thank you for bringing that up, Andrew. If you are near Havelock, North Carolina right now, you can come to the Gathering Madness. And if you're not near Havelock, North Carolina right now, that's fine. Next year is another year, and it will be in another place, and you will have other time.
It will be
And you can
to be
join
determined
us.
next year.
Well, it's probably going to be in the UK
Probably.
or Los Angeles. Those are the two possibilities of where it's going to be. It's more likely that we'll be in Los Angeles than the UK, though I will still absolutely campaign for such a thing if we can make that happen. But the important thing is, come to the Gathering Madness. We have a lot of fun, and we would love you to be a part of that. Basically, there we go. So, now we do have to do a spoiler warning. Actually, I guess we don't really need to do one. Do we? It's up to us. We're talking
I
about a
think it would be
trailer.
safe.
We are absolutely talking about a trailer that just came out that we are very, very excited for, and we'll tell you what it is in just a moment, though most of you already know, I'm sure. But are we going to keep it specifically to the trailer, or are we going to branch out? Josh sounds like he's going to vote for branch out.
Basically, I just want my ass covered.
Fair enough. Andrew, how do you feel?
Spoiler warning? Do we need a spoiler
Do
warning?
we want to branch out
Or should
outside
we
of the
just
trailer and
specify-
talk more about how it affects other things, or just keep it to the trailer?
I think we can keep it to the trailer for now because we can always spoiler warn
That's true.
later.
We can at least plot exposit.
The
for a
boys
little.
are wanting to keep me on my toes.
Yeah, excellent. So yeah,
All right.
we will. This portion of the episode is going to be spoiler free. It's only going to spoil the hype trailer that we got yesterday, as well as maybe a couple of the other hype trailers that we've gotten, but only TV show trailers.
Right.
We're not, and maybe book one.
Right.
Because whenever we say no spoilers, we include book one. If you haven't read book one, I don't know what you're doing here. You're lovely,
And we appreciate
appreciate your presence, but it also makes no sense. So book one is counted in no spoilers.
Well, and I think the cool thing about the teaser that we got that we're going to cover, it is almost exclusively book one
Basically.
with some bonus material.
Yes, but as stated, it's going to just really talk about the trailer or maybe trailers that we've gotten, and talk about book one and everything else. If we actually decide that we need to talk about other stuff or want to talk about other stuff or whatever the case may be, we will absolutely put a new spoiler warning, or really an old spoiler warning that will be new for you later. In fact, I can guarantee that we're going to do that. I don't know why I'm saying that. We're actually kind of excited about this spoiler warning. So we will get to a point where we will spoiler warning you.
We will make
But
a
it's
reason.
not right this second. Because I do actually like at least part of this being spoiler free. So we are talking about the new hype trailer that we got that is all about Logan.
Oh my God.
Alvaro Muerte.
If you haven't seen it yet,
Do yourself a favor.
do yourself the biggest favor of your life and go see
Maybe
this.
not the biggest favor of your life.
It's definitely in the top 10.
Yeah.
It's definitely in the top
Second
10.
biggest favor.
The best thing you'll ever do with your life right now is go and watch this trailer.
Right.
Best thing of your life
So far.
No, but
And I am including you people who have kids.
as a man with kids, I can confirm.
Ugh, damn. Accurate. But
When my kids
No,
watch this, they're gonna be
no,
like,
they do.
"Fuck you, Dad." So no, so we got to see our first. Well, it's not our first look.
Yes,
But we did get
technically
some
had
stills. We got some
stills.
images.
Yeah,
But
and in
this
fact,
is
I mean,
our-
he's not featured in the
Yes.
general hype trailer. that we
Yes,
got as well.
in the first teaser trailer, we got a couple flashes, which
I mean, I don't think he flashed us in the trailer, but I might have not seen the.
you
right
weren't
trailer.
looking close enough.
Got
But we got to watch this spotlight trailer that they gave us, and it was beautiful.
it. It was cool.
It was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And as we do, you watch the first one, you gotta let it simmer for a second, and then you watch it again, and you let it simmer again, and then you watch it again, and then you do a frame by frame breakdown. And
And then you watch it 12 more times.
And then you watch it
then
12 more
You do a
times.
podcast about it, and then you watch it 1,000 more times.
and then your family starts to say
We never
things
see
like,
you anymore.
"We never see you. Why are you in your office all the time? What could be more important than family?" And
Why
they
is
just
there
don't
so much
understand.
lotion and Kleenex next to
That's
your
a different
computer?
conversation?
No, it's not. I'm sorry, you do that to other things? I only do that to Wheel of Time trailers.
You must have been very lonely up until now.
I made them up in my head. I have an active imagination, Josh.
So the trailer starts off with Alvaro Muerte, who is our Logan.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. And he basically comes out and he's in Gildan,
Mhm.
and they throw some spears at him, and we get to see him channeling Saidi.
He flicks them away with power.
First moment is just sighting swirls around him. It's black and deep and menacing and scary, and the spears come in, and they don't just like stop and fall; they like shatter.
Oh yeah.
It's so
By
cool.
flicks them away, I mean the ease with which he deals with them seems to be very low.
He can
Not that
give
he just
zero
flicks them away. but
Yeah.
he's just like, I'm done with you, and the spears just explode. They're just eliminated.
And on that day, Logan gave zero fucks. He was
Right.
just like, "I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum."
Yep. Which I don't think there is bubblegum in the Wheel of Time.
Okay, I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and we haven't invented bubblegum. I mean,
I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
yeah.
What's bubblegum, you say?
Good
I
point.
don't know.
But the Gildan soldiers are terrified.
Yes.
And rightfully so, because there's a dude like killing the hell out of them.
Well, and of course, as anyone who has read the first book knows, which again is spoiler, you find out very quickly in the books that men who can channel are terrifying. Not just because Logain can flick his wrist and destroy your spears, but the fact that at any given moment, Logain could also just go, the voices in my head tell me to do an explodey. And then he does, and everyone dies, including him.
And this is it's really kind of interesting to point this out. This is why there's a very valid reason for the existence of the Red Aja.
Yes.
We hate them. We don't love them.
No.
But their role in this world is very extremely necessary and important to stave off another breaking.
Yes and no.
That's
I
a
get what you're
conversation
trying-
for another day.
Yeah. I was gonna say they could have done it differently, but they chose to do it the way that, and doing something about it is very important. But
Yes.
as stated, that is a different conversation.
Yeah.
But yes, and again, one of our lovely viewers, you know him as the sexiest of the Morshadis.
That is correct.
Actually, is he Morshadi's sexiest chef? Wait. We already have one of those.
I don't know.
No. Morshadi did a wonderful thing for us in our Discord where he did, frame by frame breakdown kind of thing. And there are a number of things that he found, but one of the cooler ones is that we had previously done an episode where, again, this is all book one. We know that certain things are true about the male half of Saidin. And we posited that there were a number of possibilities with why in the, 2 hype trailers, Moiraine's channeling and Logain's channeling, I didn't realize how much
Moiraine and Logain.
they look distinctly different. And we were sitting there wondering, okay, is this going to be a difference between this is what male channeling looks like, and this is what Saidin looks like, and this is what Saidar looks like? Or is there a situation where they're both going to be the same color except for the fact that Logain is channeling Saidar and it's got a black oily taint on it? So it was an interesting question, and we didn't know because all we had was flashes.
Yeah.
And it was really, really hard to tell. And that's still not totally untrue from this hype trailer, but Morshadi caught a really nice screenshot from the trailer where it definitely looks like the black is covering white. Not
Threads of
that it's just all black. That it's probably the black is the taint, and Saidin will also be white, but it's got this tainty blackness on it.
It looks interesting, and I love how they've done it. I'll never forget, when Rafe Judkins tweeted out the first time he saw channeling, when he saw the effects team that put it on there, he screamed. He just said it was the coolest thing in the world.
Looks like DNA coming from the clouds,
right? And then when Moiraine, there's a screenshot up on the screen.
Thank you very much.
That we were talking about, courtesy of Morshadi. So thank you, Morshadi.
And also courtesy of Andrew, who's doing a bang up fucking
who is
job
in the command center. So if you want to know where Andrew is, we are actually in his apartment. We did not exile him from his own place.
Definitely not.
He's in the command center, making sure that we are.
He's being Target brand
semi-professional.
Not Walmart brand Taylor, because that would be an insurance. But he's being Target brand Taylor.
He's doing
he's being Target brand Taylor.
Now we're getting fancy.
But no, he's doing a great job, and we appreciate him.
And I love that they've all the attention to detail that they put into these things. And when we see that first teaser and Moiraine starts channeling, I screamed. Mm-hmm. I thought it was awesome. I was sitting in the airport
like a little girl,
and people were giving me looks. And then yesterday, day one of the Gathering Madness, which
It's very
Tweeter of chaos. Thank you. We know that was for us. You don't have to say it. You probably
In fact,
won't.
yeah, I was gonna say you're never going to. However,
But we appreciate that. And what I'd like to throw out here is that watching Saidin move and be channeled is equally as exciting to me for that added effect of, is it tainted? Is that Saidin? I mean, it looks like the taint is
tainted
encasing
or is he tainted or
but it was a really, really, really exciting thing to watch and see how that's going to work.
Yeah.
The next clip in the trailer is it's them putting him in the shield, right?
Look, I think so, yeah.
I've seen
He
it.
is surrounded by whiteness.
Yes.
That is absolutely intended to be Sidar.
Yes.
And this is still one of the coolest things. I said this to Josh earlier, and I truly believe it. We are absolutely getting flashes. There are moments, scenes, character costumes, things like that we are having spoiled for us from the show that are not going to be as much of a surprise because we won't be seeing them for the very first time. But also, these hype trailers don't answer like hardly any of your questions. We did get a little bit of an answer, but only because Morshadi is an eagle-eyed viewer. And even then, we might be wrong. It's entirely possible that is just a weird mix of Sidar and Saidin that is happening just because two people are channeling at each other or something like that. And so even the conclusions that we are drawing could be wrong.
Just talking about you, Morshadi.
Right? But the important thing is that there are still so many questions. What is the shield around him? Is it something that he has made?
Is it a defensive shield?
Is it
or
a defensive
are they
shield?
trying to cut him off?
Right? And so what... Even these moments that we think we kind of know what's going on, we still don't even fucking know what's going on.
And the phrase that we kind of settled on when we were talking about this was, they are doing such a great job of giving us so much, and at the same time, not giving us
little
dick.
Yeah.
Because we see these things, and we invariably, and the fandom itself is, I would say, curious by nature, which is a nice way of saying we love to dissect things.
Yes.
And it seems like they understand this very well. And they're giving us a lot of content that leaves us asking more questions, but still desiring to see where they're going to go with it.
Yes.
If that makes sense. I think that makes sense.
But one of the coolest parts about this thing is we see Logain with some kind of shield around him. Again, whether that's of his making or someone else's, we see a shield.
Right.
And then we see, what's the word's name?
Oh, one of the warders. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Doesn't actually matter to that.
It doesn't matter. He
But
does a
he
big,
takes-
jumpy in the air
We
thing.
saw in a different hype trailer that he, from a different angle, that he has these two axes, that he jumps with all of his might and slams the axes into the shield. But now we see it as a POV from Logain.
From inside the shield, here comes this guy.
Inside. And now you, as Andrew
And there
just
it is,
pulled it up,
right
this is
there.
great. That shield is cracking. What the fuck does that mean?
So, but here's the thing. And now we saw the screen, the comment on there, Morshadi, and I respect you and love you, but why is he attacking a shield that the Aes Sedai have put up?
Right?
What is happening? What? I feel
Or
like Paul
again-
Rudd. What the hell happened here?
Or again, is this a situation where we're just seeing the Sidar on the outside of the shield, and there's a Sidene shield underneath, and what's cracking is the Sidene shield that's the physical
What
one
is
that Logain is
happening?
I don't know what's happening right now, and it's making me so happy and so angry at the
Step
same
it.
time.
Yes, step it. He said, "Let me in."
Step it. Thank you very much. Let me in.
Let me in. And then, of course, it follows with a big fucking burst of power, and the Aes Sedai and warders are completely blown off their feet. We don't know about the battle that entails, but we do know, based on the next scene, that Logain is captured. He does,
but
indeed
again,
get captured.
does that mean that we're gonna start the show off with the Galdanian soldiers trying to capture Logain, and then the Aes Sedai help, and he gets captured? Or is this a situation where he's already in the cage when we start the thing, and then he escapes and goes back to Galdan, and then the Galdanian are trying to?
So do you know what I'd like to see?
I don't know.
Do you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see it like this. Emmons Field, right? We're all having Beltane, and everybody's happy, and oh look, the peddler's here, and the peddler's saying, "I have news. I bring word of war across the land. His name
Sorry,
is
first you have to
Logain."
get interrupted by Rand.
Like
Do you not?
you just interrupted me?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that? Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Just like that. Actually, it's more like, I am the pet. I'll tell you later! You fucking fog boy. Damn straight.
So Padan Thane is talking about Logain. What I'd like to see is I'd like to see him telling the story of the false dragon,
Especially
seeing,
with
like,
that
flashes.
particular actor who actually
Exactly.
did a really good job.
And then what happens is you get because then what happens in the books is they immediately dismiss it. And they're like, okay, yeah, thank you for the news. Divide that by 1. Divide that by 10.
Thank you
and there's
for the news. Padan Thane.
Please
Get
just
this
shut
guy
up.
a drink. This
Give
fucking
me
cheese.
my copper pot, please.
Give me my copper pot and my fireworks.
Yeah, get out of here. But like the council was like, okay, they're like,
They're
okay,
like,
yeah,
hey, shut the fuck up.
those are
Thane.
probably
we'll talk
rumors
about
and
this
they're
right now
exaggerated.
inside.
they're exaggerating. We don't have to worry about it here. We're so removed from everything. Cool. War. And I'd like to see it as him telling the story and the village dismissing it as rumor, but then seeing in shots as he tells the story that it's actually worse.
Oh yeah.
It's so much worse. Logain
Oh
is
my God,
actually
that'd be
going
really
to
cool,
fuck
yeah.
things up. And then when he gets captured, that will add that sort of juxtaposition later on, so that when Matt and Rand meet up with Logain, he's in a cage. He's just a dude, and they're going, "Really? This is the guy?"
This
and
is the guy we
completely and totally
were worried about.
underestimate him
Oh
because their first impression is him in a cage in chains.
Yep.
Which
Laughing
comes
his ass off.
which comes to our next kind of clip in the trailer, which is one that people are asking questions about. Because in the books, as Logain is being carted up into Camelin,
Matt is sitting
Matt
prone
is
in a bed,
sick.
stroking
He
a
is
dagger, going
Down with the sickness, and not that dagger, an actual dagger. He's got his big Smeagol energy. And
No, he's got big.
it's big Gollum
It's a
energy.
big
Thank
Gollum
you. He's got
energy.
BGE. And
Eagle's the one that's mildly okay.
Rand
Gollum.
decides he's going to go out into the world and explore and see what a big city looks like.
Well, and of course he hears that Logain is being
Yes.
brought into the city and goes, "Hey,
I need to
I
see
kind of want
this
to do
guy.
that." Yeah,
This is kind of cool. I've never seen a false dragon before.
right. And of
Gee,
course,
Paul.
we all know that he sees him and he's very off-put in the books because he goes up onto this wall and he sees Logain being carted into the palace, and the man just looks like he doesn't belong in the cage. Rand absolutely, from his perspective, goes, anywhere that guy is,
Yeah.
he looks regal. He looks confident.
Yes.
He looks whatever. And he's very off-put by the fact that this man is chained and in a cage and surrounded by people and still looks like the biggest, baddest fuck in the room. Like,
and he doesn't have a care in the world.
and he's just laughing his ass
And
off.
then that was the thing, is that Rand looks down at him. He gets a brief moment of eye contact,
And then Logan
And then Logan starts laughing his ass off.
And Rand is like, "Why are you doing this?"
Rand is very confused at seeing this juxtaposition of a man who is imprisoned and in a cage, who still looks like a king, proud as ever, sitting atop in all power and glory.
But again, the reason that this was brought up, and I do want to get back to that, but we had to give the foundation, because if you don't give the foundation, it doesn't make sense.
You don't know why it means anything.
So in the trailer, it is a jump cut. So it's not like it goes from, one thing to another thing in a single camera move. But Logain is in a cage looking over in a direction, and then it jump cuts to Matrim Cawthon.
Master Cawthon
Looking back at him, seemingly from the same direction that Logain was looking at Matt. And of course, as stated, we are all fairly certain.
Yes.
Though again, who fucking knows? But we are fairly certain that that is a misdirect, and that it is an Easter egg for the people who have read the books, knowing that Logain is not actually looking at Matt, and Matt is not looking at Logain. But again, who fucking
Guys,
knows?
it's an adaptation.
Yes.
It is not a word-for-word recreation.
And of course, again, we have spoilered all the way through the end of book 1, so you already know what is true.
Yes.
But we've already talked about the fact that, we are varying degrees of this, certainly. But I am ecstatic.
Yes.
That the show is doing it a little differently, and that, again, without having seen it, I don't know how much it's going to be from Maureen's perspective, and how much we're going to get her story before we get other things, and blah, 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 blah. But one of my only real gripes about this book, that's sort of like an overarching gripe, not like little nitpicky things, is the fact that Robert Jordan writes the first book as though you're not supposed to know who the Dragon Reborn is.
Yes.
And at the same time, you're reading the book going, yeah, but I do though. If this isn't the Dragon Reborn at the end, I'm actually going to be a little pissed.
Just enough doubt, as you read, where you're just like,
there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance.
there's a chance.
But at the same time, there's not really a chance. And again,
Right.
I very much appreciate Robert Jordan's point there.
Yes.
And he does have to go ahead and do certain things. He doesn't have to, but he chooses to because it's a book.
Right.
Because he's writing from perspectives. Because events have to be explained to a certain extent that really matter foundationally later. But it is one of my most disappointing moments with The Wheel of Time, is that as an audience member reading the story, it doesn't feel like a mystery. It just feels like you're waiting for him to confirm what you already know. But in the television show, it definitely feels like they're doing a really good job.
Yes.
Because of the medium that they're being allowed to use, and because of the fact that all of the books are out, and they can pull from wherever the fuck they want.
Yes.
And they can do all of this different stuff. And because Sarah Nakamura and other people are so familiar with the story and are so deeply connected to the creation of this series, that they can go, don't show that. Don't show that. Or let's show it a little differently. Let's add pieces that aren't in the book that are implied.
Yeah.
Let's take out pieces from the books that are specifically shown and save them for flashbacks later once we know information we don't have now. Let's, do this, that, or the other thing, and have in a trailer Logain look at Matt instead, so that people are confused.
Yeah.
And there really is that general confusion about which one of these three boys is the one we care about the most. Because again, we end up caring about all of them.
Absolutely.
And if you say that you don't,
You're wrong.
it's not that you're wrong. It's just that the story didn't happen the same way for you as it did for us. But at the same time, the question of who is the one that is this entity, the one that is the Dragon Reborn, which one is it? It leaves it a mystery, and I love it.
I think another thing I love about this, and I do want to take a small tangent right now. Can you put the picture of Barney back up? Because if you guys look, we do get our first look
That's
at
not Barney.
Dagger Matt.
He's not purple.
And I mean, okay, again, I understand that people do makeup and they have all kinds of things like that, but look how messed up he looks.
It does definitely feel like Dagger Matt.
I would posit a theory that this might be part of the reason why he didn't sign on for another season. If you're a method actor and you get too deep into it and it just stresses you out that much and it causes that kind of emotional concern, that is a valid reason for an actor not signing on. If they say, this is a character that I thought I was ready for and I'm just not ready for it,
and I do also want to address that for a moment, because I don't think we've actually talked about it in an episode. We don't know.
No clue.
There has been no official announcement, or even unofficial announcement, really, for why Barney is not going to be in season 2. Or at least, it doesn't even necessarily say that Barney won't be in season 2. It just says that this person will be Matt.
Yes.
Which I don't know what that could mean other than that, but it's technically not stated that Barney won't be in the show. It just is saying that this new person will be playing Matt.
How cool would it be if it was a flicker scene?
Stop it.
And then they go in with Barney Harris, they flicker, and they come back out.
Stop it.
Stop. Who are you?
Stop.
It's me, Matt.
Stop.
That's what I want to happen now. That's how I want them to
We're not in...
Or they come back out.
Spoiler warning. I know, he didn't actually really give anything away. But anyway.
I don't think there's anybody that didn't already know.
Right, exactly.
Until you mention it, wouldn't have known that it was.
No,
it's okay.
Fair.
We're good.
I'm an asshole.
We're good.
No, it's true.
We're all assholes. Yeah. That's our secret, YouTube.
That's our secret.
That's our secret.
But yeah, I do want to just address that. Again, I know that everyone has a certain amount of experience with movies and television.
Exactly.
And I'm not trying to downplay anyone else's and try to be patronizing as, oh, I work in this world, I know everything. That's not true. That's not true at all.
Right.
But it is also being very familiar with this world. There are a billion reasons why they need to replace an actor for another season or another movie or whatever. And half of them are their fault and half of them are production's fault and half of them are no one's fault and half of them are everyone's fault.
18% concentrated power.
Right?
5%
and
pleasure,
so
50% pain.
Again, I did actually see a few things on Twitter of Time, for example, and in Discords and things like that. That did not get nasty, and so I still think that Twitter of Time is one of the best places to be, because even when it gets nasty, it doesn't get nasty.
For the most part.
There was a lot of immediately assuming that it was Barney Harris's fault and that he had done something wrong, which is absolutely possible. I'm not trying to say that when we find out that Barney Harris fucked up and that's why he's not in season 2, I don't want people on Twitter to at me and be like, see, I was right.
Told you.
You might be. But it's definitely be open to that not being true.
Right.
And also, to be fair, be open to never knowing the actual answer. That's also a possibility.
Yes, Mac.
But again, I mean, I don't really want to bring down the conversation or anything, but we're not getting Black Panther in Black Panther 2.
Yes.
Because Chadwick Boseman cannot play the part. And he would not have been able to play the part even if they were shooting it now and he happened to be alive.
If he was still there, yeah.
And so, again, there are just so many reasons that are sometimes way outside of people's control.
Right.
And
We're people.
I mean,
they're people too. Like
yeah, absolutely.
actors are people too.
Jack Nicholson is very famous for having said that he would never ever play the Joker again because it's such a messed up place to get to.
And he
warned
Heath Ledger.
He even warned Heath Ledger to not let himself get too far into the role, and we all know how that turned out. Again, it might not have been just that role. There are a billion other possibilities, but it is definitely a truth that if you are a particular kind of person and you play a particular kind of part, it can absolutely get to you. And so again, I just wanted to put that in there. Barney, I haven't seen your performance yet, but I think it's going to be great. And whatever happened, for whatever reason, I still want you to blow.
Blow, but don't blow. But
yeah,
but blow.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, all of that aside, it's a weird moment in the hype trailer. It's a cool moment in the hype trailer. I have no idea what it means. I'm super excited to find out whether it's a throw off, whether it's an intentional thing that they did. I don't know what's happening, and I love it.
And so, to get back to the hype trailer, you've got
Matt
looking. Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about. Tangents. It says that the Black Tower, is built by the bricks of strong men and the mortar of tangents.
Yep.
So,
welcome to the Black Tower podcast.
I do love that it's
free and the topic doesn't matter.
And the topic doesn't matter. I do love that when it does flash back to Logain as he's looking at Matt, and he has an amused look on his face.
He does.
Now, we only get like literally 1 second of it. So you've got to pause it to like really see his face. But
it's a Mona Lisa smile.
In that moment, Alvaro Muerte is absolutely brilliant. He's brilliant in all the moments. But I hope that in the show, he looks up and like, I want the laugh. I want it. I need it. It has to happen. But I love how you get that exchange moment where Matt is messed up and he's not okay, and he looks down and sees Logain, who's in a cage, and Logain looks back up and sees this fucking sick,
this fucking guy,
Gollum-looking motherfucker, and is like, nice.
Did you just say Gollum-looking motherfucker?
Gollum.
No, I don't. We all know which one
Daniel's
of those
triggered.
is worse.
Duck sauce looking motherfucker. Oh man. And then, yeah. And then what happens next to the trailer?
I don't even know.
My head
those are the parts that I specifically wanted to talk about. Actually, there's one other thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is not actually spoilery, but it is also a different book. I want to throw out there that the artist that did the art for a lot of the books got a lot of flack.
Daryl Sweet
got a lot of flack for a number of the covers for not being fully book accurate. And I can appreciate that. I can appreciate fans who are interested in the cover matching the story. I can. I'm not telling you you're wrong. But I am also saying very much, like the Wheel of Time television show is going to be an adaptation, book cover art is also adaptations. Or artist interpretations and things like that. But I do want to throw out there that I very much appreciate that on the cover of another book, there is a Galdanian soldier, or really an officer, who is wearing an armor that is, I think that one's not a thing that he got like in trouble for, because they don't describe the armor much. But it's just his design. It's just the artist interpretation of what they feel like the armor for a Galdanian soldier would look like. And then we get this hype trailer, and the Galdanians are wearing
that armor.
It's the artist interpretation formerly known as the Galdanian armor.
It's like the production team went, you know what?
Hey, sweet.
Daryl K. Sweet was super sweet, and a super awesome dude, and we're going to use
his
all
design?
the source material we can.
Yep.
And I think that one of the things that makes this such an exciting time to be alive is that we talked about, people like Sarah Nakamura, who is on the production team and making these things happen. But not only are they familiar with the story, and Rafe Judkins himself being a huge fan of the Wheel of Time growing up, they're not only familiar with the story, but they're also very familiar with the culture in the fandom. And that's important because you can have look at X-Men, the movies, okay?
I have.
We are, there's the comic book readers who all love X-Men. We all love X-Men, the comics, blah, blah. And then we watch the movies and we go, what the hell is this? It's an example of someone.
Cool is what it is.
Yes.
But it's definitely not the comics.
It's an example of someone who's very familiar with the characters and the stories, but not at all familiar with the culture behind the fandom.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of branched out and said, it'll be fun to do a new, fun, cool thing. And it was like,
some of it is.
It just didn't land very well because they didn't. I don't know. I hate to say it like that too because it definitely sounds like
you should
be fan servicey.
Yeah.
I don't want all fan service. I definitely anticipate and am excited about watching the Wheel of Time TV show and go, ooh, that was different.
Yes.
And Brandon Sanderson even said some of the changes they're making
are
going to be controversial,
yeah.
and they're going to be surprising. But
10 differences in the Wheel of Time. Number 8 may surprise you.
Rafe Judkins hates him.
Jesus. One fan got a secret look at the first 3 episodes. Rafe Judkins hate him. Rafe Judkins is hate him.
Rafe Judkins is hate him.
But yeah, no, I'm really excited again because I also think that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has very much changed the way that people do adaptations, and I'm very excited for all of the Easter eggs that are for me and for Josh and for Andrew and any other super fan of the series that will get those moments where something is changed in the show, and you look at it and you go, "That's different than what happened in the books," and then they have Throg. Like in the thing, and it'll be like, yeah, there it is.
And
there is
the
throwback to the thing that I know.
Yeah.
That lets me be aware that you didn't just change this because you were like, fuck it, nobody will notice. It was an intentional change that you thought was going to improve the story for the medium or in general. And you are recognizing that the fans are going to notice. And that you are allowing us to have that moment of, I see you. I absolutely see you. So I'm excited for that. Very excited.
Also, they're asking, what's behind your head? Guys, it's a cardboard box.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
cardboard box.
It's a cardboard box.
It's card boot.
It's I'm not repeating that joke. So the trailer does end with Logain in a cage, looking as though he doesn't really care. He's like, cool, whatever. And it says his power is unlike anything we've ever seen.
Yep.
And I don't think it's Leandrin who says that. Now, it might be, because
it's always possible.
Adaptations being what adaptations are.
Well, and we don't actually see the speaker at all. It's just a line over the top. So it could literally be anyone. If Barney has a really good female voice, it could fucking be him. I don't know. I mean, it's probably not. It's
probably one of the X.
Hell, it could be Alvaro Muerte if he's got a really good feminine voice.
Alvaro Muerte
is
good at everything he does. So if you said, Alvaro, we need you to have a feminine voice, he'd be like, got it, boss. And it would be great. It'd be perfect.
And I also steal some money.
That's what people don't know. Is after he did the money heist, this was his escape plan. He found a way into another world where he could channel.
What?
Seems like a good deal to me. Or he could channel before. And that's how he got it. Oh! That's how he got away with all those money heists.
Yeah, there it is. But yeah, so it's a dope trailer. It really is. I am a huge fan. And again, Amazon, Rafe, Sarah, Jeff, whoever's watching right now. Steve?
You know who you are.
Oh, Steve.
Steve. Steve of time.
We are extremely excited for this, and we are looking very much forward to this. And also, thank you. We know that you are putting in so much extra work to give the fandom these different things. And regardless of what is said elsewhere, because again, we know that certain people are just never going to be happy, and that's okay. We are very grateful that you are putting in the time and effort. And it is not something that is necessary, and we very much appreciate it being done regardless of the fact that it is not necessary. And, you know, there are no expectations on this. We just are excited about what you've already given us. And if you continue to give us more, I will just be that much more excited. We will just be that much more excited. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all of the things that you have already done. And thank you for putting this together. Because while I don't necessarily want to call out certain people, Red Eagle Productions, and I will never truly forgive them.
Hashtag bring back Billy, and I will
Also
die
true.
on this
That
hill.
that is the one thing that they did well, which was to bring in Billy Zane. So Billy, we also know that you're listening. We love you. We really hope that you
Fun
get a chance
fact,
to do
Billy Zane
something.
is a longtime listener and fan of the Black Tower podcast.
Sure.
And you can quote me on that.
You
People will look
you
at you
said
like
it
you're
before.
weird.
Yeah.
You can It's not
I didn't say
factually
it was going to
correct.
be an accurate statement.
It's
but
not
you
an
can
accurate
quote
statement,
me.
but you can quote me.
I mean, this is America. When have quotes ever actually been needed to be correct?
Just say whatever you want.
Right? But yeah, thank you so much. We do very much appreciate the things that you've done, and we look forward to any and
Very
all other
excited.
things you do.
Very excited for the show. I think I remember the day when they said that Logain was getting an expanded role in the show, and I was immediately happy.
Right?
Because, I mean, we could probably do a whole series of off-screen scenes that we would have preferred to see.
Yes.
And then we could do another series on which one of those scenes are going to make it into the story.
Oh, yeah,
and
right.
we already have confirmation on one of those. Logain marching through Galedan, forming up an army. We're going to get to see that.
Looks like it.
Part of it.
Looks fucking like it. I'm excited.
And I'm here for it. I'm all into it. And I genuinely hope that his part is expanded throughout the rest of the series as well. It would even be super awesome I think, if Logain was portrayed as the big bad in season 1.
That would be kind of cool. Yeah.
Like we don't even realize that
there
we're
he
facing
is.
down the dark one yet. What's happened is Aes Sedai came and took us out of the village, said that the dark one is after us, and then here's this insane false dragon, and shit got fucky, and now we've got to stop him from doing a thing that's going to be bad. And it's a whole misdirect, and Logain is the big bad in season 1.
That'd be interesting.
I would really like that as sort of a variation on the story in the books, and I think it would still work really well for the story as a whole.
I actually agree. All right, so now we're an hour in. We do still have another third of this, which is great. But we're actually going to switch gears a little bit. But before we do that, Andrew, do you have any thoughts that you would like to share on all of the shit that we just talked about? Or on any other part of the hype trailer? No? Okay, cool. So now, if you are still here, We are going to throw in a spoiler warning because I do want to ask these guys a couple of questions which will absolutely ruin shit from the
Okay,
book.
so our closing thoughts and one last remaining question from Daniel.
No. This is going to be a whole thing.
Oh, is it?
I mean, it doesn't need to be 30 minutes, but it is going to be a thing. But spoiler warning.
The following show contains spoiler for the entire Wheel of Time series. If you have not finished the series, you are at risk of being spoiled. You have been warned. What does this even mean?
What does this even mean?
I love it. So there you go. Please, if you are interested in not being spoiled and you haven't actually finished all of the books, please leave now. We love you. And definitely come back later. I'm not today. Well, yes, later today, not for this episode.
Yeah.
Not later in this episode. But come back later in the day or whatever. But leave now or, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
So, I know that we've sort of talked about this before. It's definitely a thing. But Josh just brought up a very good transition into the question that I would like to ask, which is also related to the hype trailer because of the character that it's on and things like that, which is Josh and Andrew. What is the top list of 3? I don't know, it's top list of 5, but the single one scene, whether it's, your scene in your head based on things that are sort of talked about in the book, but it's completely off screen and you're not 100% sure how they'll do it, but you want to see it anyway.
Right.
Or it's something that's described in the books but doesn't actually get shown, if you will.
Okay.
What scene is it that you are the most excited about possibly getting actually as a full fleshed out television scene
Oh, okay.
that Logain is involved with, now that Logain is going to be so much more of an expanded character with such an intense arc in season 1 that will likely, I think, continue on into other seasons.
I'm actually going to just kind of stick to what I just said, and that is Logain's sort of proclaiming himself a dragon, causing all kinds of mischief and mayhem in Gildon. In the books, all you get is Padan Fane saying, "Yep, that's what it is," and you don't get to see any of that. In the books, I think what he says is he's got an army. They call themselves the People of the Dragon, and they're marching towards the Stone Tier.
Yep.
And that's it. That's kind of like the end of it. And then later on, they're in Camelin. It's like, oh, the dragon was captured. The false dragon was captured. And it was like, oh, okay.
Really?
I actually like that we're going to be able to get to see that. And that, for right now, that's where my
number
head's
one.
at. That's what
Excellent.
I'm excited for.
Andrew, what do you think?
Is it all like scenes with Logain?
So, yes,
Specific
Logain
to
needs to
Logain.
be involved in the scene somewhat.
Easy. His gentling. I want to see.
Yeah. Nice.
I wanted to drive home how inherently horrible war crimey gentling the men are. It is
Yes.
not the motive behind it.
Yes.
Is understandable.
Yeah.
And fair.
But
The
the
way they go about it with
Uh-huh.
the absolute non-existent aftercare, the absolute indifference to who you are, how you feel, what
Yes.
you're doing, and how crazy you may or may not be.
right.
The absolute basically they treat male Chandlers as if they're not even people,
Yes.
and they're trophies to be caught. And well, I was part of the group. They caught Logain.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
Rolling darts.
it's part of the reason why Eliza gets double because she's just shit.
Yeah.
And she's a red.
Yes.
And it's one of the reasons
Well, and as we've already said,
you can never convince me to like the red Aja.
right? As I said, we
Or that the red Aja
recognize,
are good people.
as Andrew said, the motive behind why the Reds exist is an important motive. It is. We agree with that. Please don't add us that Reds do something necessary. They do have a motivation that is actually kind of fucking necessary.
By all
The way
means.
they do it is so horrible.
They're awful.
By all means, please add us. We will just take that
Okay,
section.
fair.
of what we said,
We will enjoy it.
tweet it at you and say, per our last.
I love it.
We just start doing that. Anytime we say something and somebody like adds us and is like,
Per our last
like, oh, here's where you're wrong, and it's something we've said in that same thing.
right.
I'm just going to cut that section out and tweet it out back as a response.
Excellent.
Like
I
per another like 2 minutes later in the episode.
Per the qualifier that we put on this statement.
I mean, that being said, I know there's plenty of people like they don't like me. I know I wait until I'm done with a YouTube video
Yes.
before I comment on it.
100%,
Yes. If for the reason that like, okay, if they talk about it later, I don't want to make the comment and then hear it later and feel like an asshole, right? But that's me. There's some people that like they just comment whenever they hear because I'm not getting on it going at the knee jerk. I'm going at I have to comment it now or I'm going to forget that I have this thing.
Yeah.
That I'm perfectly fine with. Like,
yeah,
no big deal. And there's been several people, or at least several times that I've seen somebody make a comment and then reply to their comment with,
oops.
okay, you guys answered it really
Yeah.
good. I appreciate it. And honestly, from a metrics point of view, that's a good thing
that's
for
a-
us because it adds comment.
Well, and actually,
It adds
okay,
engagement.
one of the things that I also want to throw out there, and this is a minor tangent just based on your thing, I appreciate people who are the most who are right the first time. I do. It's just accurate. It's true. It makes life easier when you just get it right the first time.
Right.
But you know what? It's a very, very small step down to the people who mess up the first time, get new information,
Yes.
and then correct their mistake that they just made based on the new information. I
We don't do that.
love that shit.
We don't do that here.
We don't do that.
Get this man a correction. But yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. If you comment on something and then finish the video and realize that they already talked about the thing that you commented on or whatever, good on you. Again, I wish that you would finish the video in the first place and not commented for non-metrics reasons. I'd love for you to comment 7 times about how right we were. Or about how right whatever YouTuber it is that you're watching is, because good metrics. But as far as for, I would love for you to just get it right the first time and watch the whole video the first time and then make an informed decision. But if you comment 7 times because you said a thing and then finished the video and went, okay, guys, now that I have new information, X, Y, and Z.
I mean,
You're still great.
We're also kind of saying like the equivalent of a YouTube video of let me finish my statement.
Yeah, right?
But because we're a podcast,
Yep.
let me finish my statement is
Let me
an
finish my
hour
show.
to hour. and a
Yeah,
half.
let me finish my podcast.
So by all means, use the comment section as a running board and
Do it.
With current
Just go.
metrics, the amount of times I check the comments, it's like every 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
You'll at least get a like or something. Probably.
Absolutely.
Well, maybe. There's plenty.
Well, okay, yeah,
There's
yeah.
plenty on one video that I don't interact with the comments at all.
As well you should.
For the simple fact of I
Ron
don't
Paul's
want it to
2012.
even appear that we're fueling the fire that we asked not to be created
Yeah, no,
in the comment. Well,
No, I totally agree.
you can't moderate the comments, but within reason.
Well,
Although we did get our first bot spam comment on that video to take us to live free nude shows.
Hey!
did we click the link?
No. We know better than that.
No.
Oh,
But you made it or doing something right whenever
When you have the
nudie
haters
bots.
and when you have the nudie bots. Those are the 2 metrics.
So thanks everybody for tuning in with
Yep.
us. We are super excited to be celebrating the Gathering Madness. The fun does not stop here. This is
What?
definitely not
Freezing with the comments.
yeah.
the live free nude show. That's later on tonight. That's the Black Tower Power Hour.
That's Black Tower After Dark. Only taints.
That's our only taints.
Which does
And,
still involve this couch. But
We have a power
Let's just
law
say
in America.
Andrew's gonna want to get this apartment cleaned after we leave. So here in about 15, 20 minutes, we are going to be starting up our second panel for the Gathering Madness. You are not going to want to miss this out. We do have Bay is going to be there.
Truth.
You know who I'm talking about.
And also the two other bays.
And also the two other bays. The two lost ludies still on the road looking for tar balling.
Which, I mean...
They'll get there.
Yeah.
One day.
They got to find North Harbor first.
I'm not touching that.
We know.
Yeah, I'm not. Nope. Okay.
We
So
know you're
anyway,
not
thanks for
touching
tuning
that,
in
Josh.
again.
That's actually the problem.
Make sure you follow, subscribe, and like the Road to Tarballin and Androl because they're awesome. And yep, you're getting added already.
Good. I'm glad.
In all caps, very
Excellent. There is only one thing in the world that I have ever wanted, and that was to be added on YouTube in all caps. In fact, you know what's even better is if you didn't caps lock it and you actually held the shift button down.
Oh, if your spite was that powerful.
Oh,
Is this a manual caps lock?
was this a shift into Inferno?
So thank you so much. We've been here having fun. We're going to pass it over to them here in the next little bit. And
we'll see you later
We're gonna
at
see
an
you
axe throwing
at an
event.
axe throwing. Yeah, we're going to be doing some fun. It's going to be awesome. So
Perrin may or may not be there.
Perrin may. I doubt it. We invited him.
Oh, he won't be, but he may or may not.
But I have been your sort of unmahaled Josh.
I've been your Amin Khan Mahale, Daniel, and from our command center.
Andrew.
I've been behind the screen this time, taking the load off.
Indeed.
But I've been your Bajan Mahal in the command center, Andrew. And actually, in lieu, no, because I can't do it in lieu of, I don't want to.
Okay.
So after Daniel does his normal kind of goodbyes, you've already seen it on Twitter, you've already seen it on YouTube, you've seen it all over the place. We are involved with helping with the with WhatCon. It's the new convention. We're going to play the trailer for it again. If you haven't seen it, and
even if you have, it's a cool teaser. So.
The teaser thing, it just looks cool. Lauren did an amazing job, worked really hard on it. We've been focused on things here in the Gathering Madness, so we are a little out of the loop of everything that's going on. There is a GoFundMe that is going to help with the operation and startup costs for the con. I think I saw a message somewhere that we're like a third of the way there already of a $12,000 goal. So
excellent.
If you want to help make a new convention, it's going to be dope regardless. It's going to be epic. Trust me. And trust us. It's going to be dope. You want to help. But even if you don't help, it's still going to be dope. But anyway, we'll
even
play
if you
that.
just attend, you're helping.
Yeah, true. So we'll play that for those of you that maybe haven't seen it. And if you have seen it, you want to see it again because, again, it's dope. Go ahead.
But yes, we will leave you with the trailer. And in case we don't see you again, which we definitely should, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.